What is going on, guys? I'm Andy Vitale, host of My Fight Our War, and co-host of Music and Mayhem with Skylar Ray, and also co-host of My Brother's Keeper, a Bikers podcast with Thomas Vestergaard. And I was dead ass tired when I got home from work. Dead ass tired, man. I mean, it took everything just to get up, get up the stairs, and jump in the shower and eat. And I hit that couch, and eyes closed. Just I planned on probably being out by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I put the Tigers on. My boys put the Tigers on, and started watching the game. And I tell you what, uh, my man, my boy Javi Baez. I know, man, people are gonna sit there and the people in Detroit, all the people. This goes out to all the people in Detroit for the past 2 years that have just been destroying that man. His character, not only his ability, I mean, his play for the last 2 years, don't get me wrong, has been, to say horrible is giving too much credit for the way he played. His, from where he was prior to the Tigers to where he was the last few years was absolute, it was mind blowing. It was so bad. The abuse, the verbal abuse that he took, deliberate. I mean, hey, when you're an athlete, you put yourself out there. Um, Mr. Positive, you know what? I'm glad you're on here, brother. I'm glad you are. Lori, love you. Mr. Positive. Uh, and I can sit here right now and go on and on about me being a Baez fan, and people are going to go, "You are so full of shit." And as most of you that know me, no, really, I don't care what you think of me. I want everyone to obviously like me. The changes I've made, I really do, but I will never be fake or act a certain way. So those of you who know me know when I say this, it's 100% true, man. When I say this shit, Baez has always been a gritty ass, down and dirty player, always, and I've always admired that. As I said, the abuse he took as a player on his performance deserved 100% deserved. When you get some of these morons, though, who start attacking a man's character and his family and saying stuff behind a keyboard, well, you guys know what I think about you, the keyboard warriors and the monitor little gremlins who hide behind their keyboards, attacking people and all that. Stay behind your keyboards. That's where you belong. But for the rest of us who step forward and through doing what we're doing here or in social events and public events, God bless you guys. Um, just like, well, Mr. Positive, I always listen to 97.1 in the morning and their morning show. I love their station. I love the controversy that each show brings and each talent, all the members of the team for each show brings. Some of them are there to push the buttons, boy. Some of them do in each show. We have our favorites. We have some that maybe aren't favorites. But I will never I really hope that the producer of the morning show, I think his name's Tom, the producer of the morning show, Costa Jansen, I remember just tearing Baez up, tearing him up. And again, as far as the performance, you're 100% right. But there is a conversation about players in the locker room and the character and what they bring and giving up and not caring. I think it was not caring. And Tom, the producer, sat there and he says, I have a right to my opinion. And Baez doesn't care. He doesn't care about this. He doesn't care about that. He slammed Baez up and down because as he is got that right. He's got a right to his opinion. And the way he went after attacking the man's character, though, is what really pissed me off. So, I'm all for. I mean, the shit that I say, I'm wrong, just like anybody else. But I really hope that the people who attack this man and people in their character um, have enough courage to stand up tomorrow's show, because they're all going to be talking about it on tomorrow's show with Costa Jansen, Heather, uh, Gov, whoever, the producers. I think it was his name's Tom, the one that just tore him up. And I really hope that someone calls him out tomorrow on this conversation that he had no bones about telling everybody in the world that was listening on his show that he produced, that that he was didn't care, that he didn't give a shit about anything, that he didn't try, and they were talking about him today on the show about the pain that he was in from the surgery. We don't know how much he was in unless you've undergone all these surgeries and stuff. We don't know what other people are feeling. All of us in this platform, in our family, know better than anyone to never judge somebody, especially on their appearance, what we think, and nobody ever should judge anyone's character on just what they see on the outside and not knowing someone personally. Um, him or whoever else in that show that attacked, I think he was the only one that was really just going after him like that. Doesn't know Baez personally. And I'm not just, this isn't just all about Baez. This is about all the Baezes in the world, all the Baezes in our family that get attacked by other people who attack their character. And then when things turn around, jump on the bandwagon all of a sudden, like they were their biggest friend and their biggest fan. You know what? We don't need you. We don't need you. You know what we need? We need him. We need God above. And we need to look in that mirror with pride and resolve, knowing that we did this. And we did it on our own with God's help and the help of our family and friends who stood by us. Um, so it just made me really think when I saw that today. I have rooted for him in a comeback for the last 2 years. I have been rooting for him. Um, just talking about his character. There was an interview with him prior to coming to the Tigers. Actually, before I think he went to the Cubs and all that, he left baseball because his younger sister, was so ill that and ended up passing away. He gave up everything to walk away with his brother as well, who played ball, to take care of his family. That shows a lot of character, I think. So before we start jumping on people when they're down, Tom, um, maybe we should take a look in the mirror first and look at our own character before we judge others. And again, this isn't, I'm not attacking just Tom, just like all the other, I've done this. Trust me, I am not perfect. I've made more mistakes than probably most of the people on here, but you learn from your mistakes. And that's what I've done. And it's really meant a lot to me. As silly as a game is, a baseball game, when you look at it from a different view, how meaningful certain things could be. Seeing the joy not only in his face but his teammates, who all said that, how he's never given up. Sound familiar? Kind of like all of us. We've never given up, and look at us now. We're the ones who are getting walk-off home runs in life. We're the ones who are coming up to the plate after being booed and after doing the terrible things in our terrible performance in the past. And now we're playing up to our full potential in life. And that is something that I'm so proud of, that I'm doing, that all of you are doing, and that all of us in this recovery community are doing. And so, yeah, I am on a freaking Tigers bandwagon right now, which I've always been. And I am on a Baez, but not a bandwagon, because I've always been there rooting for him as a person and as a player. As a former athlete playing hockey all my life, I've been in so much pain. And you play through it when you're a competitor. And when you are in that much pain, your play level goes down. But you know what? That's no one else's fault but ours. Step up, buck up, and do your job. And that's what I've done with my life and with all my surgeries. The people very close to me know the pain that I deal with every day. And I'm not saying this for sympathy or attaboys. No, not at all. I mean, I'm the one that made the decisions to live my life the way I did with sports, the extracurricular crazy shit that I've done that resulted in me in having over 50 surgical procedures. That's on me. And I'm not looking for sympathy at all. In fact, get out of my way because I'm not done doing all the crazy stuff. It's not over yet. I'm just beginning. Um, but the bottom line is with all this, it just got me thinking, about the whole situation and, you know, how easy it is when we jump on people when they're down. And it's like the ammunition just keeps falling in your lap with every negative thing that happens to them. You always get these people that say, see, told you. I told you that they were no good. I told you they'd fail. I told you that they would never amount to anything. You know what you are? You're you're exactly what you're claiming these other people are. You're less than that because that other person is like Baez. He's like me. He's like all the people on here who never gave up, who didn't listen to people like you saying that we'd never change and that we were washed up and we were done and we were through. So, you know what? This goes out to Tom, to the 97.1 show in the morning for you. And I don't know you personally either. So that's why I'm not saying, harsh stuff about you and your character. You're, very, I enjoy your show. I'm going to listen to it again tomorrow and the next day after that. But when you come out and you say the things, have some responsibility as a celebrity, as on your show, and just stand up and, you know, I don't know. Just do what you got to do because I know what I would do. And like I said, I'm not going to judge anybody because I have no right to judge anybody after all the things I've done in life. None at all. Um, little fired up, yeah, just a little, but in a good way, not in a bad way. In the past, it would have been a bad way. In the past, I would have been on here MFing a lot of people just for the same ones who said these terrible things are now standing there cheering like he's their all-time buddy. You know, we all know people like that who, as soon as we stumble, told you, didn't I tell you that Manny would fail? Didn't I tell you that he'd fall off the wagon? Didn't I tell you this, tell you that? Instead of, you know what, Manny, was trying so hard. Unfortunately, he stumbled and he fell off the wagon. But you know what? He's going to get up again. I've got more respect for that person than ever. And thank you, Greg. Yeah. And Tom Milliken, I'm not calling you out your character, man, because I don't know you. And I'm not hiding behind just a keyboard and all that. I mean, people know who I am. In fact, I call into your show. I've called in before and I've talked to probably, I don't know if it was you I talked to, or I've talked to Costa and Jansen. I've talked to Kang and, the guys. I love your show because it brings about controversy. Controversy brings about conversation, different views, different thoughts, different ideas, good, bad, or ugly. You don't agree with me, God, you know what? Screw you. I don't agree with you. But instead of throwing it down like we did in the old days, being all drunk and stupid and throwing hands, now we talk about it. And at the end of our conversation, you know what? You might think I'm still a complete asshole, but I might be that complete asshole that you're like, you know what? After talking to that complete asshole, I can see what he's talking about now. I may not agree with him on everything, but on this, I can see his point of view. That's all. It's called progress. So, Mr. Positive, thank you. Appreciate that. And again, I am not, I don't want people to say anything bad about Tom as far as him, his show, his performance, but this is something that was done publicly, during their show. And I know damn well tomorrow, listening to their show in the morning on the way to the gym, it's going to be Baez this, Baez that, and rightfully so. So everybody, it just, just give credit where credit's due. But when you tear a man down on his character, man, stand up and take some responsibility for the things you said. So, yeah, man, let's get Mr. Positive back on 97.1. And hey, man, bring me along too. We got to get Screaming Scott and Loco Joe back on here and do another live. I know that they've been busy. For those of you wondering what I'm talking about, Mr. Positive knows. Um, Screaming Scott is a radio icon here in Detroit. And for years, he was on with Arthur Penhallow, Karen Savelli, Ken Calvert, the whole crew, Doug Podell on 90 or on 101 FM, The Riff, Drew and Mike. And now he's at 94.7 WCSX, I think from 10 to 3. Myself and him, and my good friend of mine, Joe, Loco Joe, Cisco, Pancho and Cisco ride again. But okay, I can feel myself starting to calm down. The rant's almost over. And again, as far as time goes and all that, it's just the reason that his name came up is because he's the one that said this stuff. That's all. And just like when I say stuff, people call me out all the time. I get messages and stuff from people like, hey, did you say this? And some of this stuff is things that I never said. That one thing I found out about throwing my hat into the social media world is, yeah, man, there's a lot of great people like Lori and Greg and Nicole and all the people in our family that say amazing, beautiful, positive things about me. And I appreciate it, and I'm doing my best to do my best. But not everyone's going to love what you do. Not everyone's going to love what you say. And that's fine. No one forced me to do this. So you got to take the good with the bad with the good. So, in life, you get what you give and you give what you get. That's the way I look at it. And so it'll be an interesting take tomorrow listening to the show. And Greg, Mr. Positive, thank you for your insight. And everyone, please check him out on his page. You can see him right there. And, we can have ourselves a good time. And we're going to get along and agree on everything. Hell no, I wouldn't want to. That'd be boring as hell. Controversy is a good thing. Makes you, think outside the box. And when you're dealing with the stuff that we are dealing with in recovery, we need all the help we can get. We don't need people attacking our character because we've done a pretty good job doing that ourselves. We don't need to be reminded about ourselves. So, all right. that came out of nowhere, man. As you guys know, I never script anything ever. And this here was definitely not planned at all. I planned on being sleeping in bed, sleeping by now, until I started watching the game. And here, my man Baez gets up and cranks a home run in the earlier innings to put the Tigers up by 2. They held that. If they would have held on, he would have had the game winner right there. And lo and behold, they go down again. What does he do? Extra innings, walk up, boom, gone. So I don't know if I would love to meet him. Who knows if that ever happens? But I'm thinking about him, and to all the Baez's in the world, and all the Toms in the world, all the Javi Baez and all the Tom Millikins, man. Thank you, but both, and I mean that sincerely for what you do, Tom. You made me think. You made me. You stirred a lot of emotions, man. So I do appreciate that. I really do. So who knows if Tom will ever. He has no idea who Manny Vitale is, and that's fine with me. That's okay. But if ever a chance I get a chance, I'd love to meet him, and not on a hostile stage. No, man, just to let him know that, hey, when we put ourselves in this position, like I'm telling anyone who's in the industry what to do. I've been doing this for a year, so all right, guys. time to calm down because I got to go to bed and get up in a few hours to go to the gym and go to work. And then I have to fly off to New York for 6 days to do some shows, um, and go from there. So I got to get me some rest. And tomorrow, Wednesday, don't forget tomorrow we got Music and Mayhem with my brother Skylar Ray, and it's definitely going to be 7-ish because by the time I get out of work and home, it's almost 6:30, quarter to. So it might be 7-ish. So again, to Mr. Positive, Nicole, Lori, and if anyone else was out there, Vincent, um, thank you for sharing in my rant with me. And here's to all of us learning and not judging, and to, as always, to keep fighting the good fight. Love you guys.